Hi, welcome back to the Happy Healthy Days podcast. This is Barbie Dubois, your host, here with Carly, my co-host. We're the nutritional program directors at the Aspen Clinic, and this will be our first little mini episode that we're going to do. So last year we started doing something called Product Spotlight, where we would spotlight a certain product each month and give a discount on it, just to give our patients an opportunity to try something new and improve their health, maybe in a way that they hadn't been using before. And all of our products are all completely all natural. They're from whole food sources, and they can be taken in conjunction with any form of medication or any other vitamin, because it's just like eating food. So if you look at the label or the ingredients list on our products, you'll see all natural ingredients. And so with our patients, that's what we want them to use. And I tell people all the time that I would much rather you take no vitamins or no supplements at all than to take ones that are full of synthetics or chemicals or things that your body is just going to have to detoxify and not recognize. Right. And it doesn't recognize it. So it's not really going to utilize, or you're not going to absorb any of those vitamins. So it's so important that when you're choosing supplements or vitamins, that you're choosing ones that your body is actually going to benefit from. So with our product spotlight, we like to do different products so that way people get to try discounts or try that product at different points throughout the year. But also we find that a lot of times our patients tend to lean towards our products that are more focused on weight loss. Of course, we are a weight loss clinic, but there are so many parts of our overall health that can be addressed in conjunction with weight loss too. So they all have the same level of importance. And our product spotlight for February is the Fat Sugar Enzymes. This is actually one of my personal favorites. It always has been. And y'all have heard me talk on previous podcasts about my sweet tooth. So if you're a sweet tooth kind of person, or if you like a little something at the end of the night, or you have trouble with cravings, then this is a podcast episode that you definitely want to listen into. And what are enzymes in general? So we have the total digestive enzymes, one of our products. And in case you don't know what an enzyme is, an enzyme is what's found in our food to help break down our food so that food can actually be digested and properly utilized by the body. So for example, any raw food still has naturally occurring enzymes in it. Correct. So for example, if you take a bite out of an apple, put it down, go do something, and you come back to it, it's going to start turning brown because the enzymes within that apple are starting to break that food down and digest it. Whereas anytime we cook a food over 118 degrees, all of its natural enzymes are depleted out of it. So say, for example, you leave a French fry or some kind of cooked food on the counter, you go do something, you come back to it, it's really not going to change in appearance because there's no longer enzymes in it. So that cooked food is considered a dead food, or it's not going to digest itself. If you think about what you eat on a regular basis, so think about, for example, what did you eat for breakfast today? What did you eat for lunch today? Was it cooked or was it raw? And I'm sure if you think about that, 90% of us probably ate a cooked food because that's what the majority of us eats at this point. But the problem is that when you eat all of these cooked foods, your body has to tap into its natural store of enzymes to break that food down. So the human body is very smart. It knew that we were going to need extra enzymes to break foods down. So you do have a store of enzymes in your pancreas. So if you think about your pancreas like a little enzyme ATM. Every time you need a certain food, it's going to have to go and withdraw a little bit from your bank account to break that food down. So for example, if you're eating protein, if you're eating a piece of chicken or fish, your body's going to have to go to the ATM and get a little bit of protease. That's the enzyme that breaks down protein. If you're eating dairy, you're going to have to go and withdraw some lactase from the pancreas, which lactase is actually one of the first enzymes that people run out of. So if you eventually run out of your enzyme store, which is possible, so for lactase, if you can no longer digest dairy because you no longer have a natural store of lactase enzymes in the pancreas, then you become lactose intolerant. Whereas if your body is constantly having to break down sugar, like most of ours is, and you run out of the enzyme for sugar, amylase, then you become diabetic. So it's so important that we try to eat raw foods as often as possible so that we're prolonging the life of our natural enzyme store. Now, we do understand that we are going to eat cooked foods, and that's the majority of what we're consuming today. instead of raw fruits and raw vegetables like we should, or even raw meats are okay because they've still got that enzyme. But like we said, we do know we are going to consume cooked food. So you can take digestive enzymes with your meals to ensure that that food is not only being broken down properly, but it's being digested and your body's being able to use it for energy in the best way possible. So for example, if you take the total digestive enzymes with your meals, which you can ask anybody who's around me, I'm usually seen popping a few supplements. Chances are it's probably digestive enzymes. So take a couple of enzymes and all it does is it makes me feel less bloated. Mm-hmm. I don't feel full after a meal because my food is actually being broken down, especially if I'm eating something that I don't normally eat on a regular basis, or if I'm eating a little bit more food, I'll even take a couple more, say 30 minutes later, I still don't feel great, I'm going to take another round of enzymes, because the thing is that your body is so smart. So we need to start listening to our bodies and reading the signals that's trying to give us. So if it's 30 minutes after you ate and you still don't feel good, something's not right, or digestion isn't going as it should. So that's why you hear me saying that I'll take more enzymes, because I can tell that something isn't feeling great. Or if your stomach starts to hurt, or you're having bloating or gas, something is not going right with digestion. So we need to try to do whatever we can to improve our digestion. So like we said, the total digestive enzymes have all 5 enzymes needed for proper digestion. So protease for protein, lipase for fats and oils, amylase for sugar, cellulase for starches, and lactase for dairy. Now, the fat sugar enzymes, our product spotlight for February, is a little bit different because it has a higher concentration of the enzymes that are more specific for fats and sugars. So lipase for fats and amylase for sugars, in a high concentration to break down more fatty or sugary concentrated foods. So for example, if I eat a piece of king cake or something with Mardi Gras coming up, I'm going to take some fat sugar enzymes to make sure that the fats and sugars in that piece of king cake is broken down properly. Now, the cool thing about the enzymes in general, but particularly the fat sugar, is that not only are they breaking down the consumed fats and sugars, or the fats and sugars in the food that you eat, but also breaks down the fats and sugars located within your bloodstream. So if you are just starting to eat healthy, you've been eating a diet that's, say, full of fried food, sugary things, carbohydrates, and your body is a little bit overloaded with carbohydrates and sugars right now, just in the blood in general from previous intake. The fat sugar enzymes, when you take it to break down that piece of king cake or whatever food that you're eating, it's also going to break down some of those pre-existing fats and sugars in the blood, which will in turn, help with your cholesterol. Remember, those are the fats in our blood, and also your blood sugar levels. So chances are, if you're at the Aspen Clinic or you're looking into losing a little bit of weight, your blood sugar is probably a little bit out of control. And it might be, you might not be diabetic or pre-diabetic yet, or maybe you are. But regardless, it's so important that we keep our blood sugar levels under control when we're trying to lose weight. What happens when you consume a carbohydrate, your blood sugar immediately spikes, or your body releases insulin to bring that sugar level back down. And so the more sugar that's in your blood, that's just signaling the body to store fats. Obviously, if we're trying to lose weight or get healthier, then we're trying to reduce fat stores on the body, not increase them. So it's so important that we keep our blood sugar under control, and taking the fat sugar enzymes is a very easy way to do that. Now, I used the king cake example, but really, if you're trying to lose weight, you probably shouldn't be eating king cake or sweets. So it's good to have the fat sugar enzymes around for instances like that. But really, the fat sugar enzymes can be used for just whatever daily. Yeah. So if you're just taking it on a daily basis to regulate your blood sugar and keep your triglycerides or cholesterol under control, you can take it daily, or you could even take it for example, to help with your cravings. So if you're like me, I guess, if you're like me and you've got sweet cravings a lot, if you're taking that every day, the reason why it's going to help with your cravings is your body is craving sugar when there's sugar in the blood. So if you've constantly got sugar in your blood, when that sugar starts to run low, your body is like, what's going on? I need more sugar. And that's when you start to crave a little bit more. So if you're taking the Fat Sugar Enzymes regularly, it's going to monitor your blood sugar, but it's also, you're going to notice a reduction in your cravings. Another cool thing about the Fat Sugar Enzymes, especially for the ladies, is the Fat Sugar Enzymes can actually help with cellulite. And I'm sure everyone's ears perked up when I said that. But the reason why is sugar. So depending on what the food is, kind of depends on what it does in the blood. So for example, if you've got excess sugar in the body, it causes platelets to bind together, which can lead to clots. But also in the bloodstream, sugar is sticky. So if you think about sugar kind of like, I don't know, like a spider web almost, or like if you've got something really sticky on your fingers and you pick your hand up and it lifts with it, what happens is that starts to happen throughout the blood, and especially it starts to spread across your fascia. And fascia is the layer of connective tissue that's above the muscle. So the fascia starts to get more of the appearance of like a chain-like fence instead of laying flat. And what happens is, if you put your hands together, if you open your fingers really wide and then you put your fingers across each other and kind of cross them. So instead of your fat mass or your muscle protruding flat, it's now poking through this chain link fence. And so that's what gives that appearance of cellulite. So there's certain things you can do to help with cellulite reduction. I recommend using a fascia blaster or a roller with spikes on it can oftentimes help to roll out that fascia. But the easiest way is to reduce your sugar intake, because that's one of the primary causes of that. So Fat Sugar Enzymes is our product of the month for the month of February. It's $5 off. You can buy it online you don't need a promo code. It's going to be discounted already. So just go to theaspenclinic.com and go to our online store and you can order it. And we ship across the country. So no matter where you are, we can get that to you, or just stop into any Aspen Clinic location and you can buy it over the counter. If you have any questions about the Fat Sugar Enzymes, I would encourage you to either call our locations, email them. You can contact them through our website or social media, or just stop in and ask any questions you might have. There could be other supplements that would be really beneficial to your health. And we like to have an all-around approach and try to, like I said, not only help you lose weight, but resolve other issues in your health as well. So if there's something else you have a concern about, chances are we've got something that can help you. So thanks for listening today. Please go and like us on Facebook and on Instagram at the Aspen Clinic. You can send in any questions or any feedback that you have there. Also, please subscribe to the podcast and leave us any 5-star reviews. We really appreciate it. But thanks for tuning in to this little mini episode, and we will be back with you soon.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.